A lot of people went natural during the natural hair movement, and if you were there, you remember how it felt. It was super empowering. There was not a lot of videos on YouTube. There was only a small amount of natural hair creators. There was barely any products really being sold for natural hair. It was mainly just Shea Moisture and Carol's Daughter at that time. And there was just this hunger for information. And during that time, if you went natural, you weren't natural because you had just recently discovered that, wow, it's okay to walk outside with my natural hair and not have a relaxer in. Hey, I can actually be loved and accepted. Hey, I can feel beautiful in my own skin. And hey, my hair can actually grow long and healthy. So it was just this new information that we hadn't really been fed before, and we were just all excited and ready to just hit the ground running. And also just seeing people's transformations on YouTube at that time was super exciting, just to see people go from having a teeny weeny afro to waist length hair in just a few years was really exciting, and it kept everyone motivated. And there was a lot of natural hair shows and new creators. And when a new product came around, it felt like it was needed because there was not a lot out there. And everyone was just super excited to try it. Everything felt like a discovery, and there was so much excitement and encouragement in the community at that time. But fast forward to now on YouTube, as you can see, there are millions of videos on YouTube about natural hair. And there are thousands of products on the market now, and everyone is trying to sell you something. So it's this brush, this routine, this method, but last month it was a different brush, a different routine, and a different method. So now if you're trying to go natural in 2026, it can be very confusing because there is a little bit too much information out there. If you watch enough videos, one video is going to contradict another. So if you're trying to go natural in 2026, it's probably going to be really confusing for you. Somewhere along the line, the natural hair community stopped being fun. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the natural hair community does not even feel the way it used to feel anymore. There's so much hair typing, and there's also just so much judgment, just a lot of pressure. And what used to feel welcoming, in my opinion, just feels super exhausting. And now you're seeing people go back to relaxers after going natural, going back to wigs and weaves because they just don't want to deal anymore. A lot of naturals are burnt out from being natural for so long, and new naturals don't even know where to start, so they don't even start. And a community that was meant to be empowering just feels draining now. So if you've been wondering, is it even worth it to go natural in 2026? Then let's get into today's video. So I went natural back in 2012. I used to have relaxed hair. My hair was relaxed for just a couple years, but majority of my life, my hair was natural, super short, super brittle, super dry. It never really grew very long. It barely hit my shoulders, if that, when I was a kid. My mom thought at the time it would help my hair be a little bit more manageable to get a relaxer. Got a relaxer. Issue wasn't the manageability or the texture of my hair. The issue was that I just did not know how to do my hair. So I went natural in 2012, and I discovered the Glam Twins, and I still follow them to this day. They have a really, really long hair, if you don't know, and they're dark-skinned Black girls, and I started watching their channel, and I really learned a lot about going natural, and I felt super empowered by watching them that I decided in 2012 that I was going to go natural. And I was about a sophomore in high school. So flash forward to around 2014, it took me about 2 years to fully transition to natural, but by my senior year of college, I kind of got the hang of it and did my first wash and go at my college graduation. So for me, I cannot go back because I used to feel so ugly and so insecure before, and now I have so much confidence with my natural hair, and it's such a part of my identity right now. But I know not everybody has that sentimental story. So let's get into the different options that are out there for you so that by the end of this video, you can decide if going natural is worth for you in 2026. Okay, so obviously we're going to start with being natural. So a lot of people think that being natural is one, a lot of work, and two, expensive because of the hair products. I'm going to talk to you guys about my routine. So for me, I only wash my hair once a week, and then my hair will last usually like this for the full week, and then I'll wash it again. So for example, like I will use a leave-in conditioner. This is an 8-ounce product. This is my line. I'll use this. This bottle will last me about a month, let's say. So about 4 uses. So I don't pay for my product because this is my line, but this costs about $14. You would basically be buying this leave-in conditioner once a month if you were consistent with wash and goes every week. So about $14 a month for the leave-in. And then the shampoo and the conditioner I use, again, is also for my line. But these, it takes me a few months to run out. So about 3 months. So in total, these two retail about $30 combined. So you're going to run you about $30 every 3 months, which to me is not a lot of money. So a lot of people say going natural is super expensive, but if you are buying a ton of different products from a bunch of different brands all the time and trying the new things, yes, it's going to be expensive. But like I said, I only wash my hair once a week, and this will last me about a month, maybe a month and a half. And then I buy shampoo and conditioner once every 3 months. And then I also do use gel. And this is the gel that I use. This is the Wet Line and Stream Gel. This is about 35 ounces of gel, and this is only $4, I believe, and I've had this literally forever. If you have, maybe you have really longer hair than me, but I think that's usually just the timeline in general of how long it will take people to run out of hair products. This is a styling product, so you're going to run out of this more quickly than your shampoo and conditioner, because you will most likely use a little bit more of your leave-in conditioner and your gel than anything. But even if I were to run out of this also every month, that's only about $20 a month. But time consumption being natural, I'm going to be honest with you, it does take me about 2 to 4 hours to do my full wash routine. So I shampoo, condition, usually deep condition, and then I style my hair. And that takes me about 2 to 4 hours a week. So that is a long time, but again, that's only once a week, and I don't touch my hair for the rest of the week. So if 2 to 4 hours a week is too much for you, then I would say going natural is not for you. But if 2 to 4 hours once a week is something that you feel like you can manage, and spending up to $20 a month on product, if that's something you can afford, then going natural could be a potential option for you. So let's go into straight natural. So a straight natural is basically someone who has naturally curly hair. Their hair is not relaxed, but they choose to wear their hair straight for the whole year. So basically, you're probably going to go into the salon to professionally get your hair blow dried and flat ironed or silk pressed every 2 to 4 weeks. Probably once a month or twice a month, you're going to be going to the salon. I think depending on the area, but my mom gets her hair silk pressed, but her hairstylist charges her about $40 every time she goes. And I would say my mom goes every 2 weeks, and then she'll give her hair a break sometimes. So if you're getting your hair straightened twice a month, then that's about $80 a month. So it can be affordable, but I know some hairstylists charge a little bit more. I know a hairstylist personally, she charges about $80 to do a silk press. So keep that in mind. But if you want to be like my mom and give your hair a break, and let's see, some people, they'll just wear their hair straight during the winter months. And then during the summer, they'll wear their hair natural. So you're only going to be spending that 40 to 160 a month during the winter months for 3 months out of the year. And then for the remainder months, your hair is natural. So that's also an alternative to give yourself a break as well. But if you really just do not want to deal with your hair and having your hair curly, you don't really like your curls and you don't like the way it looks for you, then being a straight natural is an option for you. But just keep in mind that you are going to pay probably anywhere between $40 to $80 every single time you sit in the chair to get your hair silk pressed. And also a con to this is that some people will be straight naturals, but then they also will like to sometimes wear their hair curly, but then with the constant heat exposure, especially practically all year round, by the time you will try to do a wash and go, your hair will most likely be extremely damaged and it won't bounce back and give you that look you want. So if you want the best of both worlds, you want to wear your hair straight and you also want to wear your hair natural, I would say to wearing your hair straight a few times during the month and then giving your hair the summer to have a break would be the option for you if you want the best of both worlds. And if you do not care about you wearing your hair natural at all and you don't really care about having curls, then being a straight natural and doing that all year round is going to be the option for you. But just keep in mind that your hair is going to be extremely damaged underneath. Okay, so let's get into weaves, wigs, and protective styling. So a lot of people do just wear wigs, weaves, and protective styles all year round, which I do not recommend, because your hair underneath is not going to be healthy, nor is your scalp. A lot of people that I do know who do this all year round, their natural hair is really short, very weak, very brittle, and their scalp can tend to end up being really dry and flaky as well. I would say that if you do not want to deal with your natural hair at all, the best option for you is, if you're going to get a wig or protective style, to keep it in for no more than 2 months. Even 2 months is pushing it. I think that a healthy time frame is like 4 to 5 weeks, and then give your hair a 2-week break before you put in a new hairstyle. That way you can make sure you wash your scalp, moisturize your hair, and give your hair some breathing room, your scalp some breathing room before you put in your next style. So if you are going to do that, I would say, for the sake of your scalp and the sake of your hair, please do not keep your styles in for more than 5 to 6 weeks. However, this option is the most expensive, because if you do not know how to do your own hair, install your own wig, weave, or do your own protective styling, then this is going to run you anywhere between $200 to $500 every single time you want to do a protective style. Let's say you're doing this once a month or once every 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to cost you thousands of dollars a year. Versus if you're natural, you're not spending anywhere close to that a year in hair products. So I think that it just depends on your budget. If you really just want to be a protective style type of person, then, and if you have the budget to afford almost $200 to $500 every month or month and a half, then I would say that this is the option for you, especially if you cannot be bothered with doing your hair. I think this is the best option for people who really just don't like doing their hair. But again, if you want to do it the healthy way, make sure you give your hair a break in between. And also, I want to talk about relaxers. So relaxers, please keep in mind that relaxers have been linked to causing cancer. But again, no judgment. This is still an option if this is what you think would be best for you. So relaxing is chemically treating your hair so that it alters your hair type to make your hair more manageable. That will also ultimately cut down on how long it takes you to wash, style, and basically do your hair every week. If you want to do your hair, what really turns you away from going natural is the thickness and the coarseness of your hair, then maybe chemically treating is an option for you. I would say that if you are really keen in on chemically treating your hair, doing a keratin treatment is a healthier alternative, because the chemicals that they use in keratin treatment are a little less harsh and you still get a similar result. And yeah, a box relaxer is only about, but again, no judgment, and that is an option for you if that is something that you want to do. Anywhere between $8 to $10, I would say. So yeah, I would say that if you're really keen on doing a chemical treatment, I would say keratin is a more safer option for you. That it will just be a lot easier for you to do your hair that way. But you do have to touch up your roots if you are going to relax your hair or do a keratin treatment. I think, don't quote me, I think it's every 8 weeks, but I could be wrong. So just keep that in mind, that if you do relax your hair, it's not just something you do it once. You have to keep touching up your roots. Okay. So based off of all of the options that I gave you guys, being natural is definitely the most cost effective. And I would say it definitely is also the most time consuming, because 2 to 4 hours a week is a lot of hours at the end of the month. But it is the most cost effective if you are on a budget, but also it is the best option if you do like your natural hair, want to wear it all the time. But if you do want a break from your natural hair, that's what I do sometimes. Usually during the winter and fall months, I will do protective styling and I will do braids, and I'll get them done every so often, just to give myself a break. So that is also an option for you. If the 2 to 4 hours or whatever it is that takes you to do your hair becomes too much, you can add that in, or you can straighten your hair during the winter to give yourself a break too, because you're still natural that way as well. So we basically went over everything in this video. We went over being natural, the cost and the time. We went over if you are going to chemically treat your hair. We went over being a straight natural. We went over just being a person who keeps protective styles in for the remainder of the year. And so yeah, so I hope this video was helpful for you to fully understand what it takes to be natural and if it's worth it for you to go natural in 2026. If you guys have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.